Hey, what's going on? This is Rashad from RashadBeats.com. Welcome back to another video. Today we are doing a mixtape review, and the artist of the hour for this mixtape review is none other than BQ, the MC. BQ is an artist from California, currently residing in Florida. He has definitely been doing music for years. I definitely consider him a veteran to the underground. He has collabed with big names. Hobson, for an example, also creating his brand to be something bigger than just the music. You know what I'm saying? Definitely got to link up with dude. He's definitely a great artist and a great person to meet. But aside from the artist, let's jump right into his mixtape. The mixtape that we are reviewing today is the Starr EP. Now, the Starr EP consists of 9 tracks, all produced by Spider and Mike Shice, two dope producers. Definitely have that California sound, and those are the main producers throughout this entire EP. Now, as soon as you fire up this EP, the first thing that you start out with on the intro is called "Set It Off" featuring D Cure. Um, you start to hear a sample in the beginning. The sample is filtered, and you just hear it, and it's just riding, it's riding. You already know the funky feel that it's about to bring, and then boom, the instrumental drops. The chorus comes in. The chorus is catchy on this track. It's pretty much welcoming you into this new project and welcoming you into the EP, and pretty much giving you a feel for what you're about to hear for the rest of this EP. BQ's verse comes on, and he's just ripping it apart with his bars, definitely killing it, and it's just like, yo, this is dope. So then, as soon as that part and as soon as BQ's verse ends, you hear DQ feed off of BQ's energy and rip his second verse right after BQ's verse. And it's just dope because you can feel that he's riding his energy and killing it at the same time with his bars too. D Curry definitely did his thing on this track. Instrumental on this intro was definitely dope, very boom bappy and straight up hip hop with the sample, with a little California in it, you know what I'm saying? Definitely got that swing, and it's bopping, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, okay, yeah, this is what you're gonna expect for the rest of this entire EP. So after you hear the intro, you hear Tremendous Knock. And Tremendous Knock is a really dope track, really West Coast, straight up grimy West Coast. BQ rips his verse. I like the chorus on this one too. The chorus on this one is very dope because I like how Mike Shice has like this E40 chop that Mike Shice put on the beat, where it's just like tremendous knock. It's dope, you know what I'm saying? It's cool. I love that shit. Also, you actually hear a feature from Mike Shice, the producer of this track, which is cool. I like how he has his producers putting verses on tracks. I think that's a cool way to like market yourself outside of just being a producer. You know what I'm saying? I think that's kind of cool because it just goes back into like, oh, dang, he's rapping on this joint too? Yeah. And, you know, Mike Shice definitely comes with his own set of bars on this track, and you're just like, oh, ooh. And at first I was like, who is this? And I looked at the feature, and I was like, Mike Shice? Oh, okay, that's dope. So he definitely raps too. But really what you expect from this EP, or not even expect, really what you hear from this EP is a lot of West Coast instrumentals, a lot of very heavy bar setting uh, vocals, a lot of heavy cadence on just hip hop and bringing that type of, I would say that type of just grimy hip hop classic vibe to it. You know what I'm saying? That's what really most of these tracks are telling you. The production on these tracks definitely solid. Production game on this definitely solid. I enjoyed the instrumentals. I think the only instrumental that I didn't like has to be "I Got It Made." I feel like he could have went a different route, but either way, it's still fitting into this project perfectly because it shows kind of BQ's variety and his variety into like different instrumentals that he could rip on. You know what I'm saying? He still killed this one with the verse. I don't like the hook on this one. The hook on this one is just very. It rides the beat, but it's just very. I don't know. It's just I don't really enjoy it as much as the other hooks compared to like Tremendous Knock and everything else. So I don't like the hook on that one. However, track is very upbeat and very soulful in a way. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like it's dope. And it even has a feature from the producer himself, Spider. Spider produced this track, and he also threw a verse on it. I like this verse too. His verse was pretty cool. It's like a dope track. However, I just didn't like the chorus on this track, so to speak. If it wasn't for the chorus, I definitely would have enjoyed this track a little bit more. Like the chorus was just there, it really wasn't making a big impact with the track. It was just pretty much just slapped on there. But regardless, the verses made up for the chorus, for what was lacking in the chorus. You know what I mean? So it still made the track a lot more enjoyable to listen to. But it was still definitely a solid track, and I enjoyed it to an extent. Now, as you get further down the track list of this EP, you start to hear just crazier bars as you get in, like just more and more bars. It's crazy, man, because like after I Got It Made, you got the track Family Man. And I like Family Man because I feel like that's everything that we all really relate to. Like we're all family men, you know what I'm saying? We all doing what we got to do to take care of our families, you know what I'm saying? And it's just something that everybody can relate to. But aside from that, the bars on that joint was crazy too. You know what I'm saying? I like the bars on that one. Bars on that joint was sick. He was just like Emcee. His get squeezed like a headlock. It was dope, man. I really enjoyed it, man. I really did. And that was produced by Spider as well. Another great track, and this was one of my favorite tracks on this entire EP by far, was You Don't Have to Worry. Now, You Don't Have to Worry, it was just straight up hip hop, the sampled beat, the boom bap. It was definitely, it was cold. BQ killed it. And I like how on the chorus he just let he let the sample ride. Sometimes you're taking a big risk because you're not talking on the chorus, but you're letting the sample ride. Some people just be like, why he ain't saying nothing? But the sample makes up for that space. It was just dope. But one thing I do not like about this track, and this is one of my favorite tracks, one thing I don't like about this track was Patron's verse. Patron is a featured artist on this track. I feel like it just didn't fit. I feel like it would have been better if BQ did this by himself, honestly. I feel like BQ should have just ripped that one by himself, you know what I mean? But regardless, the track was hot, and that's one of my favorite tracks on this EP thus far. I was like, whoa, this is sick, you know what I'm saying? Like, just deeper and deeper. The more that you get deeper into this track, or excuse me, the more that you get deeper into this record, you start to see that the bars are really what's important, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And that's why I always felt that like this entire EP was just like pretty much really showing BQ's lyrical expertise and showing that he can ride over any type of beat because he had an upbeat joint on here, but most of the instrumentals on here were boom baps. Besides, I Got It Made. I Got It Made was more like an upbeat pop type of feel with a sample in it. It was still dope, but it was different. You know what I mean? So it just showed like his variety on different beats. Then you have Hell Yeah. Hell Yeah was definitely dope. It had all these dope MCs, just bars, just spitting. The beat on there was sick. That was produced by Mike Shice. Um, Everybody was killing that joint, man. I enjoyed it. It was really dope. I didn't hear a bad verse on that yet, man. I feel like that was just a great way to express the lyricism from just from different angles, from different people. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, yeah, let's all rip on this track, and everybody did their thing on that track. On track number 7, The Greatest of All Time, I think that's one of my second favorites. BQ is just ripping that. I'm glad he ain't put no features on that one. I feel like that was perfectly made for BQ to kill. He was just ripping straight through it, and he was killing it. And it was just like, oh, dang, you know what I mean? It was sick. You know what I'm saying? He had a lot of lyrical ability on this one. I feel like the lyrical ability on The Greatest of All Time probably one of the best ways to show that he had lyrical expertise on than any other track on that EP. I feel like this was the best one because he really showed off on this one. Like, yeah, he was killing this one. As you get further down the track list, closing off to it, you got Hitman, Throw Your Hands Up, which are pretty much the last 2 tracks. Hitman is cold. Hitman definitely gave me this vibe that he was just a lyrical hitman, just taking things out, and it was intriguing to listen to. You know what I mean? I've enjoyed it a lot. I feel like on this track he had lyrical expertise too. Compared to The Greatest of All Time, I think this one was better lyrically, but I like The Greatest of All Time a lot better because I feel like The Greatest of All Time, I resonated with it a lot. You know what I'm saying? I understood what BQ was talking about in that one. You know what I mean? I enjoyed that one a lot personally. But regardless, the lyrical ability in both tracks really were outstanding. And to close the EP up with the final track, Throw Your Hands Up, I personally don't like Throw Your Hands Up. This is probably one of my least favorite tracks. I don't like it because of the hook. The hook kind of throws off the track because it's just like the hook was just like kind of like how I felt with I Got It Made. The hook was just there again. You know what I mean? It was just there. The hook wasn't bad, but I just didn't like how it was just sitting there pretty much filling up all that space without really moving me. You know what I mean? But after the chorus was done, after the hook was done, the verses came back. Bars were still there. You know what I'm saying? The bars were still there. And I think that's one of the things about this entire tape. I feel like that the choruses could have been a lot better on certain tracks, most tracks, but they still filled the space in where it still was just like it still kept the listener in tune, because even though there was tracks I didn't like with the choruses, I still listened because I knew there was more bars coming up, and I knew that there was just gonna be just fire after that. But to really come to a conclusion to this entire mixtape, this mixtape is a solid project, dope production. The producers on here, Mike Scheist and Spider, salute to y'all. You guys are dope producers, man. BQ definitely solidified this record with just the track list, and I enjoyed the track list, and I like how he tracked it out. Definitely had smooth transitions in the different tracks, and the features on this record weren't bad at all. I think the only feature that I really didn't like was, and I think the only feature that I didn't like on this EP was Patron's feature on "You Don't Have to Worry." I feel like he just didn't really have enough star power to keep up with that type of beat. However, BQ definitely laid it down in this EP, man. This is a solid EP. I suggest you go get it. If I was to rate this EP, I would rate it 8.5 out of 10, man. This is a really solid project. You gotta check it out and you gotta see for yourself. And that pretty much concludes my mixtape review for BQ, the Emcee's, the A-Starr EP. You can link up with him below. I'll leave all of his descriptions to the music, to his Facebook, Twitter, etc. You can link up with him and check out his music and check out the content that he brings alongside of the music. Definitely worth to check out. He drops gems for artists just like you, so you should definitely check that out, man. Pretty much it, man. This is a solid EP. I enjoyed it, and I can't wait to hear more from Q. Shaw Beats out. Peace.